Okay, one of the guys saw my videos and he said, "Why don't you look at Andrew Tate?" And the first thing I said was, "Who?" Apparently, he's the latest, I don't know what you would call him, someone people parade around like a poodle. Masculinity, money, and women. Okay, so he's a loser. Trust me, no man with any teeth is actually shown in media. None. So this guy's toothless. That's why Jordan Peterson is everywhere because they know he's harmless. So this guy's going to be harmless.
Welcome back to the Leia Heilpern Show. As you can see, we are here in beautiful Miami, and I have a very interesting guest. It is four-time kickboxing world champion, entrepreneur. I'm going to go through the list, okay? Four-time kickboxing world champion, entrepreneur. He owns a bunch of casinos, made some, I don't know, like multi-millionaire. You introduce yourself better. I can't do it.
Okay, so he's a rich guy who has some kudos at being a tough guy because he got into kickboxing. Okay, so that's all she said. By the way, no one gives a shit about his kickboxing. There's all kinds of kickboxers out there. No one cares about them. They're not getting interviewed. He's a wealthy man. That's what they care about.
Okay. Yeah, basically all the things you just said. Yeah, four-time kickboxing world champion. I guess I'll say I'm an entrepreneur, multimillionaire, all-around nice guy.
I agree, all-around nice guy.
So there you go. So he's a wealthy man who does some kickboxing. That's his great list.
All-around nice guy. And yeah, we're here in Miami, so good to see you, young lady. Good to see you again.
It's always good to see you. All right, let's go into this because this is going to be totally
By the way, women hate nice guys, right?
unfiltered. I have a bunch of topics that I want to go into.
It may be unfiltered, but it doesn't mean it's unedited.
For context, we met about over a year ago, I think it was.
Yeah, we've known each other a while. I've seen you out in the Twitter space, like taking over and flexing on them. I've seen your little videos, like is Bitcoin gonna go up or down, and you do well, and you're growing and that kind of thing. So we've known each other a while. Yeah.
And ever since we met, I've had a bunch of questions, and I'm not going to filter. I'm not going to filter anything. No sugarcoat. So I want to jump straight into this.
So you might hurt my feelings. Is that what you're saying?
Basically, that's what's going to happen.
You see that? People at home, you see? Don't let the pretty face fool you. She's out here to break my heart, hurt my feelings. So I've got to be careful here.
Don't let the tough persona fool you. All around nice guy. All right, let's jump into this. So one of the biggest things that you're known for is women. And
it's 9:30 in the morning. We're talking about chicks.
We're talking about chicks.
Wow. What a bunch of posturing. What else would they talk to you about? I've seen you in other videos, pal. That's your big shtick. Your BS of thinking you're basically another fake guru, relationship guru. You're a dime a dozen. I mean, this is a joke, right?
I'm happy to do it because look, one of the first things that really confused me about you when we met was the fact that you're not a one-woman man.
Okay, that's not completely true.
Explain.
It's not completely true. I'm not saying I couldn't have and enjoy the company of a single female for eternity. I'm saying my point is that, truthfully, if we remove all the garbage and the fairy tales, if men are true to their biology, no man is completely and utterly a one-woman man. That's
well, you just said you could be one guy, a one-woman man for eternity. So this guy just contradicted himself within 2 minutes. Okay, 2.5 minutes. Dude, if what you just said, how can you be willing to settle down with a single woman for eternity if you just went around and said, sorry, that's not our biology? God. And also, he's obviously wrong. Because guys like Will Smith, who really are the full package, tall, good looking, famous, talented, wealthy, he has done everything to stay with this one woman. So this guy's just wrong, and obviously so. See, this is a poodle that they parade out to make fun of. This is a clown.
That's my point. There's a societal expectation which has been placed upon humanity, and then we have a biological and evolutionary imperative, and the male evolutionary imperative is not to have one female. Now, there are some dudes out there who are going to disagree with me, but those are dudes, they got low testosterone, they got the big G, they ain't got no money, they ain't nothing, right?
Yeah, they have no money. That's it. It has nothing to do with testosterone. Broke men with high testosterone don't get the girls. Why? This guy didn't show up until he became a successful entrepreneur, until he became wealthy.
That's different. But any man who's actually in a position of status, since the dawn of human time, every single king, every single sultan, all of them had more than one chick.
Yeah, he just said it, status. So it has nothing to do with testosterone. You know, there have always been effeminate kings, effeminate men who were born into royalty that got the babes because they were royalty. This bullshit narrative that the guy who became king is because he had high testosterone is just a myth.
That's actually the natural human state. So the point I was trying to make is, even though I am a man of God and I try and keep myself close to Christ, right? Because I'm such a
We'll get to that.
because I'm such a nice guy. My point is, any man who has the means to attract or solicit the company of more than one female likely will enjoy the company of more than one female. Does that make sense?
It doesn't. I respect it. No judgment.
Okay.
The confusion that I have is you're jet setting, right? You're
Why would there be a judgment? I mean, he's either right or he's wrong. So, and here you are, this guy has nothing worthwhile to share, and you're interviewing him because he's a mouthy, high status man.
here, you're there, and we'll get to that. But how does that work, right? Because at the end of the day, women want love, emotion, and attention. And if you're jet setting and if you have multiple women, how does that work practically?
I don't have any.
Okay, obviously she's wrong. Women want a high status man, and they're willing to share a high status man as opposed to partnering up with a low status man individually. So is this guy going to call that out?
It was just an observation. I don't have
Let's
any
be
women.
honest. Let's be honest.
I can't lie. No, I know what you're saying. Women want love and they want attention and those kind of things. And yeah.
Okay, then see, he's a toothless dog. I told you he was. This guy's supposed to be throwing truth bombs. How come he's spreading a lie? He gained status, wealth, so he could get a harem of girls. So that's not what they're looking for. And he knows it. That's why he did it. So why is he now giving into her false narrative?
I travel the world, but I really don't think that it's difficult to maintain a relationship purely based on if the connection is true, then the physical presence doesn't have to be as prevalent. Let's put it that way, right?
Oh my God. Why did you become a millionaire then? Come on, dude.
There's lots of soldiers go to war and they have a wife at home who loves them very much.
But that's different because they're going to die for a cause. Let's just
I'm
say,
going to war. I'm out here in the streets. How do you think I'm making all this money?
But what do you do? But like, you're not fighting a battle.
All I do is fight. My life is a fight. What do you mean I'm not
What are you
fighting a
fighting?
battle?
Okay, so you know that women don't love men for themselves then. If a man has to die to be with a woman, then she doesn't love him for himself. But even so, they're looking for a provider. It's not because he's some ultra guy who's fighting for some cause. No. These guys who go to war, their wife is at home enjoying an easy life off them. That's what it is. So both of them are wrong about that.
I'm
What are you
fighting a battle
fighting?
against the oppression of humankind.
How are you doing that?
I mean, how am I doing that? I'm the only person who didn't cowered out at the beginning of this imaginary scamdemic. I'm out here literally resisting the enslavement of man. What do you think I'm trying to make all this money for? More cars? No. I'm making money specifically so that I am, to a degree at least, ungovernable.
But that's on an individual level.
And I
That's not
take
on a
care of my
global
people.
level.
Which
people?
My people. So this is what I mean. It's not like I'm out here doing nothing. I'm out here on the streets. I gotta go to Miami. I gotta see you. Gotta get this done. From here, I gotta go to Dubai, make some more money. I'm running around the world. I'm doing very, very important things.
I'm looking at from, she actually asked him, what's your people? Yeah, he doesn't have a people. He's his people. This guy is gaining money to attract women. That's it. There's nothing else there. There's nothing to this guy. Because if he was looking after people, he would name them. It would be part of his brag. Like, I'm looking after children that are homeless or people who have cancer or something. He'd be glad to say it. So just saying I'm looking after my people, that's just gibberish.
And if I had a female, if I did, because of course I don't, because I'm a man of God, blah, blah, blah. If I had a female, she would have to be very understanding of the fact that I am a man on a mission with a purpose. And, you know, there are some missions she'll be allowed to come with me on, and some missions she can't come. It's not safe for females out here.
I'm out here. I'm all right. I managed to get here.
Because you're next to me. I got you, Leia. You're okay. But, you know, but otherwise, you got to be careful. Women are, you know what? And I don't want to look like a misogynist, as usual.
Misogyny is okay to a degree.
Okay. What degree? Let me know. Give me a number out of 10.
I think it depends how we're defining misogyny, right?
Yeah.
Like, how would you define misogyny?
Realistic. A lot of misogyny is just realism. You know.
Well, he's actually got something right finally. So I've said it over and over again. A misogynist is simply a guy who doesn't worship the opposite sex and sees them for what they are. So finally, he said something that made sense.
Like, if you're a realist, then to some degree you're going to be a sexist.
But is that sexist, or is that just being real? Right? Because, like, if it...
Okay, and this is where he falls down. You're not a sexist if you're a realist. It's that simple.
It's a fact.
Yeah, exactly.
And is that sexist?
Exactly. So I personally, I don't like traveling the world with women. I think it's one of the most frustrating things a man can possibly do.
Why?
Okay, imagine you had to travel around the world and you had to take a 3-year-old with you. You'd be like, now you go, where's my 3-year-old? Has it 8? I have to make sure they're safe. Got to bring all their stuff. It's exactly the same with the chick. Me and my brother, we're Spartan, right? We can just go, rock up at an airport. There's no flight for 11 hours. Sleep in the airport terminal. Don't eat. Don't sleep. One bag on our back. Old school soldiers. We don't care. With a chick, it's all, I need food. I need water. Where's my stuff? My case is 55 kilo. I forgot this foundation. I need to.
So this guy finds women exhausting and annoying, but he became a millionaire specifically so he could have them around. What a loser. What a little slave boy.
Find this foundation, it's horrible.
I do agree.
Women,
If I haven't eaten, I'm not good.
yeah, so women are effectively children. And
Well, no.
Yeah, so we got there. No.
We're just different to men. We're not children. A child couldn't sit here and have this conversation with you.
I agree with her. Women aren't children because children do not have female privilege. Children cannot get away with what women can get away with.
Women have to be monitored and maintained and maintained effectively like a child would when it comes to
Not
travel.
like a child.
Yeah, same, exactly the same.
He's wrong. They got to be monitored and taken care of like the nobility. Look at shows like Upstairs, Downstairs, where the peons work downstairs and over here is the people upstairs that would ring the bell and the servants would come up and have to look after them. This is what this guy is. He's a peon. He's traveling everywhere and working, not because it's exciting. It's because he wants this harem of girls. He knows he has to pay for them.
It's the same.
It's interesting.
Yeah, listen, if I'm going to go Iraq, Afghanistan, all the places, and I've been to these places, I go with Tristan. We're battle ready. You hear the AK go off, we start running. Like a chick will all be standing there. Nah.
Battle ready? You guys aren't going to war. You're just businessmen.
That's true.
Nah.
What would happen if you didn't have Tristan?
My life would be drastically different. I think that all men, in fact, I'd say the actual plague of Western nations today is that all men lack a natural masculine support network. I don't think it's just about me having my brother. I think it's the fact that most men out here don't have a genuine masculine support network. They don't.
Okay, so this guy has no male friends. That's why he's talking about his brother. If his brother wasn't related to him, they'd probably have nothing to do with one another. So this guy has no masculine network. And by the way, everyone listening, The reason why guys don't have masculine network is because men don't like one another and they have no solidarity with one another. And this guy is walking proof of it. He has no male friends. He's living his life, making as much money to have women around who he finds exhausting and annoying.
They don't have men around them that they can not so much confide in, but men hold other men accountable. It's very easy to be brave when every man you talk to is brave.
No, it's easier to be brave, fake brave, because you're too scared to say you're scared. That's what is going on there. They're not really, he makes it a positive spin like they're making each other accountable. No, men don't show vulnerability to other people. So if other men are there, you can't chicken out, even when you should. It's just another slave mode, the slaves keeping each other in check.
And it's very hard to be brave if none of the men you speak to are brave.
But what would you do if you didn't have Tristan?
Well, then I'd have to get a masculine support network outside of Tristan, which I've already done and created myself. So it does exist. But
yeah, outside of Tristan. In other words, the only male friend he has is his brother. Right.
I don't think it would completely change who I am, but certainly having my brother was important in my formative years, because if somebody didn't like me or something didn't like me, it didn't matter, because me and my brother, we didn't care. We're big, we're hard to kill. It doesn't matter if you like us, right? So
one of the things I like about you is that you didn't come from money.
correct.
And so you're very real.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
I'm gonna take that as a compliment. Thank you.
I disagree. This guy is as phony as they come.
Real.
Thank you.
You did a video where you were like, I'm out camping. I don't need all the luxury. I don't need all this ambiance.
Yeah.
So.
But he loves the ambiance and he loves the luxury. If that was the case, he wouldn't be here, would he? He would be there, living poor and saying, this is the way I want to live. Sorry, he needs it and he wants it.
People don't know that, so talk to me about that. Growing up, was it Luton you were born?
No, so I was born in Washington, D.C.
Oh, America.
Yeah, and I left when I was 9, and I grew up on a council estate in Luton.
In Luton.
Yeah.
You grew up on a council estate in Luton.
Council estate in Luton, yeah.
And
from the ghetto.
Yeah, that is the ghetto. That is the English ghetto. So talk to me about that, though. What was that like, and how long were you in that kind of situation?
Yeah, so I left America when I was around 9, and I lived in Luton until the age of 26-ish.
Oh wow, till you were 26.
Yeah, a long time, yeah. But I was kickboxing, right? My fight gym was there, and I was fighting from there before I finally managed to get out. But I grew up in a council estate in Luton, and I am so thankful for it. The best possible thing that can happen to somebody is to be born broke and become rich. If you're born rich, life's terrible. If you're born broke and you stay broke, life's terrible. But to be born broke and become rich is a beautiful thing. Because truthfully, money...
I disagree with this guy. Being born wealthy and having wealth isn't that bad.
Really isn't all that interesting. What's interesting about money is thinking back to all the times you had no money. I love to go spend $25,000 for dinner, not because the money...
$25,000 for dinner?
All the time, yeah. All the time. We're in Miami. Where you been?
Great places, but I'm not putting down...
Okay, so he's wasting money showing off his status. So he's a loser. I know it's the old, children are starving in China business. But really, so this is him looking after his people, by the way. There's people he's looking after by going and having $25,000 on the meal to show the thumb money in people's faces. Wow, this guy is rock bottom.
25K
for dinner?
Because you're a chick. And females don't pay anything for anything.
They don't, in Miami, they don't pay anything.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
But
anyway.
Women don't have to pay, right? But there's certain places you can definitely do that. And the point is, the food isn't worth it. And it's not worth 25 G's, but the whole fun of it is just thinking back to when you never had 25 grand in your life. I never had any money in my savings account. I was completely flat broke. So it's the juxtaposition that makes it interesting. There's no light without dark.
So this is the small man disease. You're just doing it to say, look, I'm somebody now, which means you were always a nobody.
So I love the fact that I was poor. Those are some of the, in some ways, they were some of the happiest times of my life. Life was simpler back when I was poor.
If it was so good, you wouldn't become a millionaire. Trust me, he's happy now. He hated when he was poor. Otherwise, he would have stayed poor.
I'm not going to buy into more money, more problems. I'm not going to say that being rich isn't fantastic, because it certainly is. However, when you're broke, you have a very simple, singular focus, which is what it should be, just to make more money. But now my focus is more spread out, because I really do not need to make more money. That's the one.
Why would you need to make more money when you're broke and then claim that it was good when you were broke? No, this guy hated it when he was poor, and he's loving it now that he's rich. And he would love it just as much if he was born into wealth.
One thing I do not need more of.
But there's so much more to this story, so I'm not going to let that go. So there was hardship, right? And
Of
your
course.
dad wasn't always around. There was a story with like the hair. He
Correct.
gave you the whole haircut, and
Correct.
he told you hair doesn't matter.
Correct.
And all this like really formed you.
Yeah.
I want to hear about it. I want to hear about the hardship.
Okay. Well,
Let's pause this for a second. All right, if I had to listen to any more of this, I had to get myself a drink.
the hardship, my whole life was hardship. And to some degree, I try and make sure my life retains some degree of hardship. My father was the OG.
You're full of shit. You're working hard so that your life doesn't have hardship. So that's just untrue. But I mean, if it does have hardship, it's because you're an insecure guy who still wants a bunch of women around. And so you're going to be continuously working. It's a never-ending process.
I was raised by probably the best father on earth. I really genuinely
But he
believe
wasn't
that.
around.
But a father doesn't have to be around. This is a big mistake. This is another big mistake, especially among the conservatives and the tradcons and all this crap.
How are you not a tradcon? You have the same attitude as them.
The idea that a father needs to sit around like a second mother to make a child healthy is a fallacy. In fact, I'd say it's detrimental to the child. I see all these dudes out here, they have a kid and they basically become mother number two. Why? The mother keeps the child alive. As a father, it's your job to be impactful. You need to guide. You need to be a role model. You need to be a superhuman. Everyone should look at their father like a superhero. That's what you should genuinely view him as. It's hard to be a superhero if you're home every day arguing with your wife, changing diapers. That's not what a man should do. A man should rock up, teach lessons, be impactful, and it's more about quality as opposed to quantity of time.
Okay, so your father wasn't around because he was working too hard to keep your mother around. So he prioritized your mother over you. Look, everyone who's listening to this, my father was around all the time. And everyone loved Dad, every one of us. And everyone respected Dad. Of course, we'd laugh at his foibles, but it was nothing but respect for him. He wanted to be around us. When work was over, he came home with us, and everyone was glad to see Dad. And when party time came around, if we thought Dad showed up, it'd be great. He said, oh, Dad is adding to it. And my father wasn't just some guy who would show up and give some lesson. We liked him for himself. That's why we wanted Dad around. It wasn't because he gave us some kind of impactful lessons. We just liked him. And this is the thing. So this guy arguing basically says, no, my father wasn't there for me, and I'm going to try and spin it into something good.
I saw my dad once a month. He was out on the streets. He was pimping, hustling. My father was a chess grandmaster. He's traveling the world playing chess. He had all his girls. He's doing whatever he's doing. When he came home, it was an impactful time, whether it was a positive impact or it was a big argument or whatever. Never was I ever around my father. It was a low energy environment. That's not who he was as an individual. And I remember every single second spent with him. There's a whole bunch of dudes out here and chicks. Their father's home all the time, fine. But if you're home all the time, you're going to lose to a degree your mystery. It doesn't matter how cool you are as an individual. If you're home all the time, always, you're not going to have that magical power as opposed to, whoa, Dad's home.
Oh, really? Well, that's not how I felt about my father. He was all the time. We were glad to have him, every one of us. Dad was great. We didn't need him to be a superhero. He was just a great person. This is such loser talk from this guy. Just a minute, I gotta get my bearings. Okay, so what he just admitted to, if his children got to know him, they would think he was a lame ass. That's what he had to say. So dads don't get to know your children because they'll see you as a normal human being. Wow. Now there's someone who's full of insecurities.
The biggest mistake fathers make is that they let the woman convince them that to be a good dad, they need to be there all the time. That is a complete lie. Fathers never did this. We were always at war or down in the coal mines or away working. This is the way it's always been for humanity, right?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean it's any good. You look, are you in a coal mine? No. That's why you own casinos, so you don't ever have to do a dangerous job like that. You don't want to do that. Everyone listening, this guy doesn't want to work like that. So he has nothing to brag about. And going to war, dude, you have to murder other men to keep your women around. That's what war is. You have to kill other men, take their stuff, and bring it back home to your wife and say, there, I've risked my life and I've shed other men's blood for you. Guys who want to go to the military are the rock bottom because that's what it's about. And think about it, man. The average woman, like this woman you're talking to, is someone who is like a goddess who you shed other people's blood to say, there, I'm worthy to have you around. Your father was out working all the time. Well, what was it? Grandmaster chess, if that's what it was. Okay, so he's doing his business. He wasn't around his wife, was he? Why would he bother having a wife then? Because guys always know to have one, you have to pay. The world and history, as you've pointed out, is full of men that would get a wife and never see her because he had to go out and work like a dog to keep her around. And ironically, she was never around because he couldn't be around. So it's a loser's lifestyle. So your father was living a loser's lifestyle.
The men were away doing important things. Now the man's at home changing diapers, like a punk.
Why does that mean?
Really? So looking after your kid isn't important? Every time I turn around, trad cons are saying, family's so important. But if you're looking after your kid, you're a punk. So this is, you guys are hearing it now. What he's saying is the children aren't important. The family's unimportant. The woman's important. That's why he's out doing important things. What's his important thing he's doing? He's making a shit ton of money. That's it. To keep the woman around. So this guy's one of those typical guys who's there for the woman, and the children he doesn't care about. And I'm going to bring up my own father again. He loved being around us, and we loved having him around. So that guy was for the family. And there's not one of us who doesn't have something good about to say about this guy, my father. So in this guy case, his father and him, they don't care about the children. They're not family men. They're woman men.
History matter?
Of course it matters, because life is mystery. Life is a whole.
That doesn't mean anything. That's just a lot of beautiful, exciting words.
Life.
Thank you for saying so. She said it doesn't mean anything. He hasn't said anything worthwhile yet.
It's absolutely mystery. I'll tell you why the mystery matters. Because for a female to retain her attractionness to a man, there has to be a degree of mystery. That's the first thing. So we're talking about a household where even the woman truly respects her man. There's a bunch of dudes out here, a bunch of people who are married, who are home every day, low testosterone levels, they're cucked out, and they're going to disagree with me. Fine. But it's the truth.
Right.
A woman is more attracted to a man who gives a little bit of mystery. Let me give you an example. Let's imagine we went on a date.
If you're running out and you're never there, it's because you're working for her. So a woman is attracted to a man who works to them. Actually, she's not even attracted to you. She's willing to stay to a man who's willing to work for her. And even then, not guaranteed. That's why all these wealthy guys, like Donald Trump, he got divorced, didn't he? Was it Jeff Bezos? I believe he got divorced. So, I mean, even doing what this guy does doesn't guarantee the woman stays around. Matter of fact, they leave eventually anyway. Like I said, Will Smith, his woman, Jada Smith, didn't like him and left him. and he was the entire package. Is Will Smith low testosterone? This guy is an incredible clown.
Let's imagine, yeah? And you asked me my job. And I said, oh, I do this and this and this and this. And
No. What would you actually say? You wouldn't say this and this. Give me.
No, I wouldn't. I would never tell a female my job. But let's say
Well, what would you say?
Let's say I run casinos. I own casinos.
You'd never tell her, dude, that's very low testosterone of you. That's very soy of you. What do you mean? I thought you were all about just telling women how it was and keeping it real. Why would you not tell them what you do for a living? Are you scared?
Right? Let's say, so I picked you up. We're in the Lambo. We go out for a nice dinner. And I say I run casinos. Alternatively, you say, what's your job? And I say, I look after my people. That's my job. But the point I'm making is the story you're going to construct in your head is actually going to be more interesting to you than the truth.
This guy's full of shit. If you said, I look after my people, she would say, this guy's full of shit, and you'd dump him. I guarantee you when this guy gets together with her and he tells her, I own casinos. Casinos, that's what's going to keep her around. So this guy's full of shit.
You're going to say, well, my man just 25 grand on dinner, pulled up in a $400,000 car, looks after his people. What does that even mean? And it's going to be more interesting to you. When you watch a horror movie.
If you pull up in a big car, that's what's going to keep her around then. The car is a show of status. It shows you have money. And that's why you want these cars. If you were a guy who said, I look after my people, and you didn't have a status symbol like that, she would ditch you. Everyone listening, you know that is the case. I don't even have to tell you that. You guys all know this guy's full of shit. And this is why this poodle is paraded around by people like this woman as a clown.
What?
This guy is a bear on a unicycle with a clown hat.
What scares you is not the ghost that's on the screen. It's the thing you don't see. He's just walking and there's noise.
Okay, enough of that horseshit. Okay, your mom's podcast. Let's check a bit of this. Okay, I'll take a look at this. Okay, let's see how this goes.
So we are very, very happy to welcome to the new studio, Jeans, right here in Austin, Texas, the great Cobra Tate.
Oh my God.
Cobra Tate's here, everybody.
I don't understand why everyone.
I told you, everyone, this guy is the latest clown. This is a dog show. That's why he's getting everywhere. People love guys who posture.
I'm the first guest of the new studio. You know I like 2 coffees. I'm sitting here with one.
One, that's fucked up, man.
But we did get you sparkling water.
Yeah, we didn't get you poor people water.
Okay, all right. You know, it's not so bad.
Yeah.
But it's been a long flight. 2 coffees would have been nice.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Hey, guys, get the fuck on it.
Unprompted, you dicks.
Yeah,
Clean.
clean up.
But you know, I say these things and people really genuinely think I'm crazy.
Yeah,
But I mean everything I say.
that's
I don't think you're crazy. I just think you're a loser.
what I love about you is that you really are just not afraid to say.
He's a maverick.
Yeah,
I'm a maverick. Yeah, that's exactly what I am.
He's a rich man. He can afford to say what he has to say. And he's getting interviews by shooting his mouth off. So there's benefit to him. This guy has nothing to lose and everything to gain. Well, he has one thing to lose, his self-respect. This guy has no self-respect. That's why he's here.
I'm hard to kill.
Yeah.
Like Steven Seagal.
Yes.
He's a maverick. He's
He's a
Steven
maverick.
Seagal. He gets on the train, he aikidos.
yeah.
Yes.
He does what he has to do. That's me. How am I going to let okay, yes, you're a beautiful young lady. Of course, you're a very gorgeous woman. But I'm the big G. What, you're not going to clean my house?
Yeah.
Right.
Something has to happen.
Well, let's talk about this. This is fascinating because we came across your videos a while ago.
Not clean your house. Is this loser suggesting you would have a housewife leech? Someone just living off him?
And
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah. Thank you.
Finally.
Finally.
fucking God.
Jesus. I was
I know.
about to walk out the
You
door.
waited a long time for that. and
They
I'm
were
sorry.
fueling the jet. I'll have to tell him.
I will.
Slow down.
I apologize on their behalf.
So sorry.
Fine, bro.
So I am a dumb bitch. How can I not be so stupid and keep my husband? I want to keep him happy. And I think all the women listening to, they want to know the secrets to a good relationship.
I'll tell you this.
Your husband is a provider and you don't want to work for a living. And he obviously makes enough money. He's got a podcast. So obviously he's doing well enough to keep you around.
Secrets.
Yeah, I'm writing them down.
I'll tell you the secrets. Oh,
yeah,
put
put your
your
head
Let me
down.
tell you the secrets.
Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead. I'm taking notes.
I don't think most women understand what men are looking for in general from life.
Okay.
And it's not just relationships, it's in general from life.
Women, I agree, don't understand what men go through. But he's just wrong about them not understanding. They don't care what we go through. But they understand what they want from us. They want a provider. That's why this woman is with this guy over here, because she's a provider.
And when I say think, I mean I know, that men are biologically designed, we're evolutionarily hardwired to seek status. That's what we want. Men talk about wanting money. You don't want money, you want power.
Money is power, genius. That's why you went for money. You own casinos, remember? You have no power if you consider money not having power. But he knows it's about power. And know something else, guys? It's an effeminate form of power. The masculine form of power would be like, the guy who has to threaten another man to do what he says or he'll hurt him. Money, you just throw money around and you guys want it and you're willing to make them do what you want through money. It's very effeminate form of power. And men prefer an effeminate form of power to a masculine one. They prefer to be wealthy and have guys just show up at the door rather than, be some conqueror who always has to keep his eyes open and threaten men all the time. So I don't know why he went on about what he said. Money is a form of power. And like I said, if he wants power, which he does, he got money, which he did.
You want power, you want status, you want the fast car. You don't care about the car. You want everyone to know you have the car and they can't have the car. Right. If everyone had a
Yes, now we finally said something true. The car is a status symbol. By the way, women want status too. But what they do, rather than waste too much time working it for themselves, they seek out men who have status and leech onto them because it's a lot less work.
Lambo, you wouldn't want a Lambo.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So we want status. So every single thing we do is status driven to some degree.
It's true.
Meaning the female we are with has to add status to our lives in some form. That's why we like.
He's full of shit. This guy has got money to get women around. Women are born with status. How do I know? Because they don't have to work to get with a guy. This guy, if he has a harem of girls, which he says, men want a harem of women. Are all the women in his harem the ones he bangs? Are all these women making money like him? Are they all casino owners or hotel owners? No, they're probably just regular women who are good looking and maybe they're a waitress or something. So he's full of shit again.
Beautiful women, right?
Right.
But a beautiful woman who doesn't behave and doesn't obey isn't really much status.
Yep.
So when we're looking for status, we want a beautiful woman who is compliant because it's
He's full of shit again. A beautiful woman is status, period. Not obeying the guy doesn't mean her status disappears. If some woman doesn't want to touch this guy and tells him to screw off, other men still want her. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
it's unique and it's scarcity that provides value. Right. So if you want to keep your man happy, you need to think, how do I make my man look better to the world? How do I make him look better in front of other men? You know,
what does this matter? It only matters to the woman if you're a man of resources like this guy, who she thinks, hey, genius, these women don't respect you. Just because they're willing to put on a face so to keep you around, to keep your money flowing to them, does not equal respect. This is why this guy is a loser, and I can confidently call him a loser. When I call him a loser, I'm not insulting him. This is what he is. This is a very wealthy guy who goes on, hey, pal, listen, Tate, if your woman want to step out on you, what can you do about it? Nothing, can you? If she steps out and you find her with another man, you can't punch her in the face. That would be assault. And you go to jail. What are you going to do? All this guy has is the threat that he might get another woman. But even the new woman he picks up, she still will probably step out on this guy because there are no consequences. And if you're a good looking enough woman, she may not even care if he keeps this wealthy man. She says, I got a whole wagon train of wealthy men waiting to pick me up. It's really the women who have harems, not these guys. This guy doesn't have a harem of women. The women have harems of men.
You know what? If I were to just make him 2 coffees and shut the fuck up,
Yeah.
he's going to look like the big G. And he's going to be in love with me. That's what you have to do
But
as a
hold on.
woman.
But
Well,
Cobra-
let me just stop you real quick and say something. You got a
So you would be in love with a woman simply because she made you coffee? Wow. Okay. I guess you don't love the woman for herself either.
lot of work to do.
Me?
Yeah.
I brought you 2 coffees this morning because you were coming in, and I said, Tommy, here's your 2 coffees. I did.
I'm just saying he made a lot of sense. And just,
What do you fucking?
I'm just saying, keep taking notes. Don't even talk to me. Keep taking notes.
So give me some.
This whole thing, of course, no wonder they're laughing. The whole thing is a joke. Because this guy who just talked to his wife, he's working for his wife. I bet he's the one who made this podcast happen and she gets to join him, not the other way around.
Examples of how I can increase my status, therefore increasing his status. You mentioned the 2 coffees. Now, why?
So giving him coffee would be status? No. These guys have to get the status to get the girls. The girls don't need status.
Do you request that? Let's go through the logic of that.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Because it's a basic respect thing, right? And compliance is something which is going to increase the status of your man in front of other people.
Right.
And truthfully, it's not really a very big ask. The fact that it's basically pointless is the whole point of it.
Why would it be a big ask if it was compliance? If she's compliant to you, you're ordering her to. How can you ask for compliance? Okay, so you're the beggar here. You're compliant. And you're begging this woman to show off in front of your guy friends. And she's willing to do it only because you're making all the money, you're the workhorse, and she doesn't want to be a workhorse. I'm free to say it over and over again. This guy's a loser. And he's representative of a very basic male type.
I drink one, I don't drink the other one. It's just a respect thing. It's doing something which is basically pointless to show you have respect for me. And that's not me being insecure or crazy or whatever. I have a lot of jobs as a man. And
It is very insecure. Because if you weren't insecure, you would need her to be compliant in front of other people. You wouldn't need these little, give me coffee things. If women really loved men for themselves, men wouldn't need any of this. But men do need this because men are insecure. This is the epitome of an insecure man. This is the zenith of an insecure man.
I make sure I fulfill my side of the duty fantastically. I'm not going to let anything happen to you. I'm going to take care of us financially, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, he just said it. You're going to take care of the financial. You're the workhorse. And she's the one who's leeching off you. And all this guy is demanding in return is the woman make him some coffee. Pathetic. Now, this guy said he's not a tradcon. He said, oh, the tradcons. This is a tradcon. He wants a traditional relationship where he works like a dog and he's able to bribe a woman who doesn't have to work, who leeches off him. This guy's pathetic.
So if I do my side of the bargain, I want your side of the bargain, which is I want to feel respected in the household.
Okay. So
Yeah, he said it perfectly. I want to feel respected. He doesn't want to be respected. He wants to feel respected. So he works like a dog and he succeeded and he's filthy rich and he talks about a harem, but he's not really getting a harem. He's talking about a single woman. And all she's got to do is show him some minor consideration from time to time. Man, this is rock. This is bottom barrel.
so that's cooking meals, I'm assuming.
Well, truthfully, I eat out most of the time.
Yeah.
But this is actually one of the problems I have. I want
Okay, so you got, in other words, she doesn't have to do anything. She's not even cooking for you. Man, this guy is a loser.
you guys to feel sorry for me. Maybe with your big channel, we can start a charity and get some money going. Because you know what happens now?
What?
My life, I'm flying on private jets. I'm eating in all these restaurants. I'm driving all these supercars. And it's very hard for me to find a way for women to show me respect. Because they're just like on the jet, duh. I go to the restaurant, duh. They're in the club, duh.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Do you know what I mean? And they're like,
well, there you go. I mean, that's why you did it. You wanted them around. You are bribing these women just to be around. If you wanted respect, you wouldn't be with them. You'd say, oh, sorry, these women aren't up to my financial, equivalent. This guy wouldn't have harems. He'd be searching around for female CEOs and saying, I'm only going to get together with them. So this guy is a beggar. This is what Andrew Tate is. He's a beggar. He's becomes filthy rich in order to have women leech off him, and he's begging them to be nice to him. And he considers himself a high testosterone guy, which just goes to show you high testosterone doesn't mean anything. It's just what you losers say to make themselves feel better. Okay, I think I'm not going to torch you guys anymore. This guy is just a loser. What can I say? And again, he's a poodle that everyone, like a dog show, that all these people are bringing out to supposedly entertain people. You're a great entertainment. Like, Chester the dog-faced boy. Anyway, that's all we got to say about this.